Hi, I'm Mark, this is Wild Duo, and I will now explain you Monkey Monarchs.
So let's have a look at the rules of Monkey Monarchs. When you play Monkey Monarchs, you use the mountain board, which you place in front of you. The mountain board has two sides, so there is a 5-on-5 side and a 6-on-6 side. The 5-on-5 is for more experienced players and players that want to have a bit more of an aggressive, fast-paced game, while the 6-on-6 is more for beginners. So when you set up the game, you do it exactly like this. So you take all the monkey pieces from the light blue bag and place them in the corner like this. And there is a slight asymmetry between the two groups. So the blue alpha male has 2 females with kids and 3 bachelor groups, while the yellow alpha male has 2 bachelor groups and 3 females with kids. So what are you doing in this game? So in this game you represent a group of golden snub-nosed monkeys which live in the Himalayan mountain forests and compete with each other for territory, and they have a very complex interaction with each other, but also a very complex social structure, and all of this is represented in this game. So when you play the game, you do this in turns. So it's always my turn and then again the opponent's turn. And once it's my turn, I have only one option what I can do, and that's moving one of my pieces. And all of them move exactly the same. They can move horizontally, they can move vertically, or they can move diagonally. It's important they can always only move 1 square and not 2, only 1. And it's also important that they cannot move on another tile or another piece. That's not possible. So for this tile, it would only be possible to move like this or this or this. And so over the turn of the game, all our monkeys move and change their position. And then it's possible that I can defeat another monkey. And how this can happen, I will explain in a second. But first, let me remove all the pieces from the board for simplicity reasons, so that we have a clearer view on everything, like this. So in general, to defeat another piece, you have to sandwich it. So this looks something like this, for example. So this would be a defeat that can happen in the game. So these 2 pieces would sandwich the yellow female, and the yellow female would be removed. It's important to know that it doesn't need to be diagonally, but it can also be horizontally like this, the sandwich, or it can also be sandwiched horizontally. So all of this would be a defeat. It's also important that with one movement, several defeats can happen. So for example, let's assume we would have a situation like this. If now this piece would move here, both of these females would be removed. It's also important that it doesn't need to be only a sandwich of one piece, but you can also remove several pieces. For example, 2 females here, or it can also be like, for example, even 3 pieces. That would also be possible. So a sandwich can also contain several pieces of the opponents. What is very important is that a defeat always has to be achieved actively with a movement, right? So if I move my piece here, there would be a defeat. But it can never be achieved passively. So if I walk with my yellow piece here between the other 2s, it's not removed because it was not a sandwich that was achieved actively. It's also important that when I make a move, it's never possible that one of my pieces get removed. So in my turn, I can only remove the opponent's pieces, and in their turn, they can only remove my pieces. So it's never possible that one of my pieces is removed in my turn. And yeah, so that's the general rules about defeating. And so now let's talk about the 3 types of defeating an opponent's piece. The first one I already showed you quite a lot is this one. That is the group member sandwich. So group members of the same color and type work together. So in this case, bachelor males, blue bachelor males work together and defeat a yellow female. It can also be a yellow bachelor group or even the yellow alpha male. That doesn't matter. It's also important that it can also be 2 blue females that achieve this victory. It's just important, it has to be the same color and the same type of group members, and if they manage to sandwich another piece horizontally, diagonally or vertically, it's removed, right? So that's the first type of defeating. And the second one is the alpha male victory. This looks something like that. So if I move now my alpha male here, or could also be that I move my group member here, then I sandwich an opponent's piece with my alpha male and a group member. It can be any group member, it can also be a bachelor group, that doesn't matter. But always when my alpha male and one of my group members sandwich one or several of the opponent's pieces, all of them are removed. And that's the alpha male defeat. And then there is a last one, the third one, and that's the betrayal defeat. So the betrayal defeat looks like this. So in this case, I would move my yellow female here, and I would now sandwich this blue bachelor group with a blue female. And now the blue bachelor group would be removed because this female betrays the blue bachelor group. So, and that's only the case if they have the same type. So females betray bachelor groups, while bachelor groups can betray females, right? It's important that a female, like this, like a female never betrays another female of the same color. It only betrays bachelor groups or the alpha male, but never the same kind of female. And the same is of course with bachelor groups. Blue bachelor groups never betray blue bachelor groups. And that's the betrayal victory, right? And so how do you win the game? So you win the game, so you have three different options to win the game. The first one is if you defeat the opponent's alpha male. So for example, with any kind of defeat like this, now it would be gone and blue would have won the game. The second option is if you move your alpha male to the other alpha male's starting position. If you manage to do this, you automatically win the game. It's for this reason, it's also very important that the alpha male has to move at one point, because otherwise in the corner he would be perfectly protected. So as soon as there are three of your group members are defeated, you have to move your alpha male in the next possible turn. You have to move it away. And once it is moved away, it is not allowed to get back on this position. The only piece that is allowed to go here is the other player's alpha male. And besides this, so besides this victory or defeating the other player's alpha male, there is one more victory, and that is if your opponent only has very, very little pieces left and you somehow manage to block them completely from performing any action in their turn, you also win the game. And that's how Monkey Monarchs work. Have a lot of fun with the game.